Oh, hi class. Welcome to my lab. So last week we talked a little bit about osmosis, and we talked about how things can move in and out of a cell through a membrane, and we use these bowls representing membranes. Now, what kind of membrane did we say cells have? Was it permeable, semi-permeable, or non-permeable? Right. So our cell membranes are semi-permeable because we have things can go in and out of our cells, but only some things can. So we had these holes in our membranes, and we could put marbles in and the water, but the water was able to go through, but the marbles were not. Now, something that I saw a lot of you guys say was that things can go out of a cell. But I want to know, do you think things can go into a cell through the membrane? We're going to find out today. So, what we're going to do is, last week I showed you guys the naked egg, and I think you guys really liked that. And a lot of you asked me, how did we make that? So today I'm going to show you. We start off with an egg, just a regular egg, and what we're going to do is some of you guys guessed, we add vinegar. And when we add vinegar to our egg and we let it sit over 24 hours, the vinegar actually eats the calcium of the egg. So the shell gets dissolved, and all you're left with is the cell membrane and everything inside of the egg. So before we start, I'd like to take a few measurements. So first, we're going to measure the egg. We're going to measure the egg's length. So I have a ruler, and we're going to measure it, line it up to the ruler, and if you look, I say it's about 5 centimeters long. So we're going to record that, 5 cm. Alright, now we're going to measure the egg circumference. This is the length around the egg. So we're going to find the middle part of the egg, which is about here, because it's going to be the thickest part of the egg. And we're going to wrap the string around the egg. And we want to make sure it's tight so we get a good reading. And it looks like it is 13, almost 14 centimeters. Now what we are going to do is we are going to add our vinegar to our egg. So, we have our egg in our container, and we're just going to pour the vinegar. We want to fill up the container so it's over the egg. Alright, it's a lot of vinegar. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put the lid on to make sure that it holds the egg down and submerges the egg. Now we are just going to wait 24 hours and we'll come back to our egg. So it has been 24 hours, and let's take a look at our egg. Now, if you look at the egg, some shell is still here, but up around here we have the shell, what's left of the shell that's been dissolved by the vinegar. And we're just going to rinse this off real quick. Now we have our naked egg, just like we had last week. And as you can see, there's no shell, and it is kind of rubbery. I can push into the membrane, and it can even bounce a little. It's very rubbery. But this part right here actually is the membrane of the cell of the egg. So this is the cell membrane of the egg. Now, let's take some measurements. End to end, the egg is actually about 5.5 centimeters. So we're going to record that data. Then we are going to check out the egg's circumference again. And remember, what is circumference? It is going to be the length around the egg. It looks like it is just a little above 15 centimeters. So we're going to record that. So originally it had a length of 5 centimeters and a circumference of just shy of 14 centimeters. So that's the length around the egg. Remember that. And then after we placed the egg in the vinegar, it had a new length from end to end of 5.5 centimeters and a circumference of just above 15 centimeters. So the egg grew about half a centimeter in length and about 1 centimeter in width, the circumference around the egg. So why do you think our egg grew? Knowing that vinegar, while it does have acid and dissolves the shell, also has a high water content. What do you remember last week that we talked about cell membranes and water? Can water move through a cell membrane? And why do you think this egg got larger? Now what I want to know is if we put our naked egg in a container with our corn syrup, I'm going to use corn syrup now, which is a high amount of sugar. In fact, it's pretty much just liquid sugar. And remember what sugar is. It's sugar and salt are considered what? A solute or a solvent? That's right. It's considered a solute. So we are going to place it in our container. And what I want to know is I want to know what you think is going to happen to the egg. So our egg has been sitting for 24 hours. Let's take a look. Here's our egg after 24 hours in the corn syrup. As you can see, we have our egg and our cell membrane is very loose. Everything inside of it is just kind of moving around. Our egg is very limp. And we are not going to take a measurement this time because it's going to be hard to take that measurement because we don't have the same shape. So what I'm going to do though is I'm going to place this in water.
Now I want you to make a prediction as what's going to happen to the egg in our water with food coloring. This time I'm going to let it sit for 48 hours, and I will bring it into the class and we can look at it all together.